In this chapter, we will cover the limited protection your PPE provides, the hazards you face during firefighting operations, and the inappropriate use of your PPE.
When we look at some of the limitations of our gear, this isn't entry stuff. It's not designed for you to walk through fire. And you know, some of you are saying, yeah, I know that. But look at YouTube. There's obviously those of us that don't know that. It is designed to protect you, to make structural firefighting survivable.
PPE ensembles are designed to provide limited protection to your head, torso, arms, hands, legs, and feet from hazards associated with structural firefighting operations, non-fire-related rescue operations, emergency medical operations, or victim extrication. These hazards include heat and flame, penetration of blood and other body fluids, physical hazards including cuts and abrasion, water from hose streams and other sources, liquid splash of the 5 common fireground chemicals, AFFF foam, battery acid, hydraulic fluid, gasoline, and 65% chlorine solution.
The biggest misconception is that this is going to protect me from absolutely everything. The recruit hears about the maximum temperature that the protective ensemble was tested to and thinks they can withstand that temperature.
Degradation temperatures of many materials are widely published, particularly in outer shells used in turnout gear. Those numbers are when the fibers in the materials are actually consumed or totally destroyed. So they're not intended to be a survivability temperature of a human or of the fabric itself. It is really a temperature where the product itself is destroyed and no longer can function in its intended manner. NFPA 1971 requires your PPE moisture barrier be tested to 5 common chemicals. Those 5 common chemicals do not represent every single chemical that you may come into contact with in your firefighting environment. If you have been exposed to chemicals, including the 5 common fireground chemicals, you should have your gear cleaned, decontaminated, and inspected, even if you can't see it on the surface of your gear.
Your PPE's protective properties will diminish as your gear is worn and ages. If you discover a problem during your routine inspection, contact supervisory personnel to have an advanced inspection performed by either a trained expert, a Lion Total Care Center, or a verified ISP. If you would like to learn how to perform an advanced inspection, visit the training section at lionfireacademy.com and select the NFPA Certificate Program for access to specific training videos and testing. Firefighters face an almost unlimited number of other potentially hazardous chemicals in their operations. Your NFPA 1971 compliant gear is not designed to protect against exposures to hazardous material operations. You must use other appropriate protective equipment in situations involving CBRN, liquid or vapor hazardous materials. Your PPE elements are designed to protect your body from the hazards of exposure to bloodborne pathogens present in body fluids. Exposure incidents can occur when there is specific contact with blood or other potentially infectious materials, also known as OPIMs. Make sure your face, mouth, eyes, and nose, or any cuts, scrapes, or skin abrasions are covered. Avoid contact with hypodermic needles and other sharp objects. Do not use structural PPE for proximity or entry firefighting operations, activities requiring direct contact with flames or molten metal, protection against all hazardous material, chemical, biological, radiological nuclear agents, and CBRN terrorism agents, or wildland firefighting.
Never think that just because you have you donned that protection, that you're Superman. That it's going to protect you from everything. It's going to protect you to what it's made for.